RCK Productions.
What is up, Motorfest racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. I'm here today with the Lamborghini Reventon in the hypercar class. This thing is awesome. Handles really good. It's quite fast. It's got one of the best launches in the hypercar class. So if you start with it in the grand race, you'll walk a lot of people. I've got some gameplay footage to back it up. We run it on the test track. It does quite well there. And then I run it in a grand race to show you guys what it does in the PvP element. Let's go. Let me show you what I've got before us. As we tab into the game, it's going to go black as it always does because the game doesn't like my recording software. Okay, shout out to my man SakuraCommander. He did this tune. He's a new member of the Cornnut crew, but he has showed up and just jumped right in with both feet. He's doing lots and lots of setups with me. He's got a handful of really cool liveries, and overall just a real asset to the Cornnut crew. So thank you to him for this. I was tuning it myself, and I had it kind of locked in on what I liked, and then I compared notes with what he had set up. I made a few more tweaks to kind of match his, and his was perfect. And so overall, he had spent more time with it. It was really just solid. So I got to give that man the credit. It's really well done. All right, so for the Reventon, we will dig into the customization options first. For those visual parts, there's a handful of different hoods, few front bumpers, few fenders. It's not as crazy as some of the other cars, but hey, you can tweak it so you can make it your own. Overall, it looks pretty solid. For vanity, guys, as you know, I like to run at least some kind of vanity tires because we are trying to stretch how far away that rim is from the body. So you'll see some of these bring that rim out a little further, and tires like that actually bring the rim closer to the car. If you can do a wide body kit and bring the rim out further with a set of vanity tires, you're going to give the car the most overall stability that you can, and it handles pretty well. I've had a handful of people that have started doing that, and they're reporting back that they are noticing some changes. Might be tinfoil hat, could be placebo, but I'm not the only guy that's a content creator that's kind of on this train, so figuring why not? We'll be on it. That's what I'm doing. I like the way the car handles. Go with that. All right, for the setup from our friend SakuraCommander, we are running final drive all the way long. That way in the draft, you can get up to top speed with this thing, and it's fast. Power distribution, we're fading it a little further to the rear. That's going to be 27% to the rear. Grip, 100% front, 100% rear. You're going to fade your brakes to the front, 65%. Brake power, 100% as we do. Aero, 100%. For both front and rear. Suspension, you are going to stiffen it up a bit. So you're going to go plus 5% on the front and plus 3% on the rear. For the compression, you're going to stiffen that up a little bit as well. It's plus 3% front, plus 6% rear. For the rebound, plus 3% front and plus 5% in the rear. For the ARB, we're going to stiffen up the front plus 4%, and the rear, you're going to go all the way to the right, 10%. And for your alignment, to give it the most cornering stability that you can get, we are full Beyonce front and rear, to the left, negative 0.25 or negative 25% rear and negative 25% front as well. So I kind of reverse those, but either way, you're going to run that slider all the way to the left for front and rear and give it as much camber as possible. That is the setup for the hypercar Lamborghini Reventon. It is super sturdy. I really like it. Check it out on the test track. I pretty much do the fastest time I've done yet on that track in this car. It's good. And then we run it in a grand race, and I show you guys what it does in the PvP setting. Overall, it's awesome. I really like it. I think if you guys are looking for a hypercar, this is kind of on the lower end of what some of them cost. And it's not as much as some of the Bugattis. Let me put it that way. And it is very good. I really like it. You guys have a great rest of your day. Like and subscribe if you haven't, so that way you get more tunes when they come out. And when I go live on stream, you can come and game with me and the homies, and we try to fill up those grand races with as many of the Cornnut crew as we can put in there. Alright, we'll see you next time. Enjoy the gameplay footage. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Here we are on the test track, creating a legend, the first track in the Lambo playlist. We've got the Reventon. I've got a full 920 set of parts on it, but no affixes or anything that's going to affect the performance. Just a full set to get us that max horsepower. For the event settings, it's custom. I add clean driving so we make a little more money. And then for the difficulty, I run full 5 event on the difficulty, guidance is off, rewind and nitro are off, and then I run sequential, comfort, and ABS on. Everything else is off. The reason I run nitro off is I want to keep consistent lap times. When nitro's on, I might use it in different places. I might use a little more one lap versus the next, and with it off, it just adds a level of stability and consistency to the overall track times, and that's what we're looking for. Alright, as we go through this first corner, try not to get too tangled up with the AI, and that's pretty much the last time we're going to see them here. This Reventon is so predictable. It really hooks in, handles the grass and the dirt really well. You can really put it where you want it. It's definitely one of the faster hypercars that I've got so far in my garage. It just turns really well, and it's easy to drive because of the all-wheel drive package, which some of the rear-wheel drive cars are faster, I would say, but you need to know what you're doing with those to make them work. This car really soaks up the bumps pretty nicely, doesn't get all crazy on you. As you saw, I was going through that section at damn near full speed once we made the corner. I've only run maybe 4 or 5 tries on this track today with this after we started doing the testing, and then we changed tunes about halfway through just to try something else. And version 2.0 that we tried today was considerably better than 1.0 for the way it handles the dirt and the bumps. For this track, a 218 in one of the racing cars, which was the FFXK, was quite good. And this one I think is faster. It doesn't maybe turn quite as hard as the FXXK, but it definitely has a lot more grunt. And it's kind of a tight track, so that gives you an idea. So even though I was out of shape there, I was still able to keep control of the car and not get too crazy with it. Yeah, this is feeling right. I would say for this vehicle, anything sub 216 is pretty fast, and I've had a pretty clean set of laps here, so I'm not sure what the final time will be. We'll wait till we get around the corner. But overall, I'd say that this car is set up very nicely. Insane. That's a 212 with an O, so that's about as good as we're gonna get right now. That's the fastest I've run all day in this car, so I'm happy to have got that on film for you guys. Car's good, it turns good, it handles the curbs great. Let's see how it does in a grand race. We out here in the grand race. Got the Reventon, got the Vet, got the Ivory Tower. Working on a tune for the Ivory Tower GP car. We're Alpha GP, it's coming. But the Reventon we got dialed in real solid, so let's make that zoom right now. Never trust a 918 driver. Alright, now it's me and Sammy Dank. Let's go. He's got the Bugatti. We've got the Reventon. Big fan of that shortcut. Lots of brakes. Get us hooked in there. Alright, let's zoom. Reventon turns in really predictably, no problems. Get off throttle just for a second there. You can see my controller inputs. Pretty much just the tighter corners. I'm getting out of the gas just briefly for a moment. And then the other ones were just wide open, just steering in. This thing sure is nimble. I think you guys will really like this car if you build it and set it up. It's a wonderful hypercar, and it's a bit of an alt right now to what a lot of people are running. Pretty much everybody's in the Bugattis, And so if you can get away from that Bugatti and get yourself into something a little different, you'll probably be happier for it. I needed to brake a little sooner for that. Made a mistake. Deadlocks is coming in hot. He's behind us. Taking advantage of my skill issues. We're at 30%, so we need to start using our nitro. There we go. Street 2. Lots of brakes as we get into the Corvette. Nice. Even when you're switching cars, guys, you do have control over where you steer and what what kind of braking force you apply. So I was hard on the brakes there. You guys can see that on controller inputs, and just really doing what I can to make sure that we don't just go slamming into that corner. I was tempted to pick the 993, but I drove that car so much the last couple days I wanted to break out the Corvette. The guy Deadlocks is not letting us go. He wants to party. Brakes. 2 tires in the dirt. Yes. Using a lot of our nitro to accelerate up the hill, get up to kind of a cruising speed. This is where you'll put a bit of a gap on somebody if you're going uphill faster than they are, because it's really easy to lose speed in this section and lose gap. Like if you're going just 10 mile an hour faster than the guy behind you, you just start to walk away from him. So it's worth it to kind of save your nitro and then burn it up that hill. As we go into the transition here, we're going to use the rest of our nitro. I could have shifted gears, but I didn't. Let's go play with the Ivory Tower car. Now this is part of the test track here, creating a legend. I know this part of the track. Long straightaway here, burning all of my nitrous to get back up to 245, 250, which is like the cruising speed for this car. So that way we're just at max speed as early as possible to continue to just gap our opponents. If they're drafting, they're doing 258, 260 behind us, and so it's really important that if you guys are out front, that you utilize your boost and everything to get you up to top speed as fast as you possibly can. Alright. Just being real smooth. Not the most exciting parts of Alpha GP racing, but it gets it done. And you'll see that I'm really just utilizing my nitrous just to get the car back up to top speed and try to keep it at top speed as much as I can, so that way we can keep on running. It was hard to break away from these guys. Some of these guys are pretty fast. That S bunch of numbers, 204, 490, yeah, 4090, I guess, and then Deadlocks. Both those guys were giving us a run for our money, but we're able to take a W. Reventon's super, super good. I really liked bringing that to you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.